Hello and good evening. What's up, everyone? It's your boy TFL here to cast some games of Age of Empires 3. Why am I doing this? Because the multiplayer servers are down for maintenance this evening. What are you up to? I'm going to cast some Sunbros tournament games. So this is a best of three set between Spades and Milk, Patriotic Milkman in game. And I've got no idea what's going to happen in this set, got no idea what's going to happen in these games, but we've just loaded up. And it looks like we have Spades in the green, playing as Spania, the greatest. Let's turn that off. The best civ in the game, Spain, and up against them we have Milk in the beautiful pink. We don't see enough of that on recorded games, and Milk is playing that rogue civ, Italy. Italy, they can sort of do everything, but whatever they do, it's a bit weird. Italy opening up as normal with the architect doing the market so they can push out some extra villages nice and quickly. The map, let's talk about the map. The map is Arctic territories. You've got 3 trading posts along the bottom. It looks like both players are going to go for a trading post. Italy having a think about it, actually deciding not to. Spain going for that nice early trade post, which probably means they're chopping for the house. Yep, there we go. 3/4 of the way there with 3 villagers. Nice and simple, no drama. Arctic territory, you've got absolutely no native options whatsoever. Just 3 trading posts, which does mean trade monopoly is a fairly viable option. Fortunately, we've not got anyone playing Mexico today. Or unfortunately, actually, I would love to cast a nice cheeky annexation tournament game. And of course there is the bridge. I absolutely love this bridge. Because you think, oh, this map, okay, it's got the middle where there's some stuff going on. You've got this right side here where the trade posts are. You never think about the bridge. But the bridge goes all the way directly from your base right to your opponent's base. It's a great opportunity for raiding, or you can send your villagers out onto the bridge because there are some hunts there. There's a 3rd hunt in the middle there. So that's Arctic Territories, a really fun map in my opinion, and a great tournament map. So we see Spain has queued up to the standard 15 villagers for their age up. Let's have a look at the deck. Oh, it's a Logi deck. So the name is the giveaway. We're going to be seeing Logistician here from Spain. We've got the 300 resource shipments. We've also got Unction, which I think is a bit rubbish, and Capitalism. So that's very exciting to see. Also, well, I mean, the 300s do give it away. My Logi deck is almost entirely, almost nothing in Age 3 and nothing in Age 4 because, you know, you're never going to go. I never ever have a Logi game where I go to Age 4. Let's put it that way. Italy, I think, the 2 civs really, really close on their food actually, so going to be aging up almost exactly the same time. Italy 1 villager behind, so their villager market shenanigans has not given them a big lead, of course. They don't have the 3 villager shipments, so they have to kind of make up numbers from that. We've got Florentine football here, never seen that before. Settler hit points are increased, very nice. And we've got advanced politicians, of course. We're probably expecting to see an Age 1 advanced politicians. It does affect the current age up, doesn't it? Don't know. Don't think so actually, so maybe we're going to see that for Fortress. But what I see actually from Italy here that's kind of interesting is we've got all 3 of these mercenary cards. We've got the resendable Fanar, we've got the Broken Lance Company, 3 Papal Lancers and Australia. That's an insane amount of cavalry to be able to put out potentially the beginning of Age 2 right in your opponent's face. And the Croatian company, Krabats and Schiavonis, 13 units in total, also a devastating group of units to be putting in front of your enemy's face. Now, Spades has put a couple of villagers forward here, of course, Logistician, so Going to be wanting to go for some mid-map military buildings. I'm just going to pause. And we're back. Sorry about that. So Spain going to need to put their military buildings in the middle of the map. Almost certainly 2 military buildings with the logistician. Then you get your houses and market with the second batch of 300 wood. Has been spotted. Let's have a look how much Italy hasn't. Italy hasn't really explored much at all. Just really taken a couple of treasures and the trade post with their explorer. Spain have explored Italy a good amount, so that's good. Okay. The explorer has pressured Spain. Oh no, that's just not showing to Italy because it hasn't got any progress yet. So the explorer getting involved here, trying to slow down this barracks, not really going to do that much. Italy choosing to open with broken lance company, so going to have a nice amount of cav, and I think that's kind of the Papal Lancers is definitely Lancer cav, so can potentially take on musketeers quite comfortably if that's how Spain opens. Let's have a look. Spain has queued up a musketeer. Yeah, we're going for 2 barracks, so it could just be straight musketeers. Could potentially be bows from the other barracks. I'm going to do a nice bit of mixed infantry. Either way, going to struggle a bit against the broken lance company, so things possibly not boding super well here for Spain at this stage. Spain has also put down those houses. Back at home, it's got 100 wood left over. Normally you put that on a market. They're going for an extra house. Fair enough. Now, yeah, we're just seeing more and more musks queued up. Actually, probably enough to overcome these lancers. Also, the lancers have gone off over the bridge. We do love to see it. It's going to take them a while to arrive, though. Give Spain a good amount of time to develop a healthy mass. I'm kind of surprised. Has Italy seen the fact that it's 2... I mean, Italy's seen the fact that it's 2 barracks, so they know that a lot of infantry are going to be coming. Maybe they just see the cavalry as throwaway in that case. Let's keep an eye as both aggressive forces are going to arrive at roughly the same time. I feel like my game's running a little bit slow. Doesn't that cavalry look like a bit slow to you? I don't know. So, cavalry come in for Italy. There's 2 villagers at the front of the base. They're going to go down. No time for those to escape. Meanwhile, at the other end, Spain coming in with presumably 20 musketeers, now down to 18. TC firing full capacity, got 11 villagers in it. 1, 2, 3 outposts. That's going to be enough to put the brakes on. The cav are still going. They're still killing villagers. Oh, Spades hasn't garrisoned everyone. Minutemen are out trying to take down the cav. The cav sit on the town centre for a little bit. Meanwhile, in Italy's base, it's a villager pull, so some villagers going down from Italy as well. I guess now that you've seen your cavalry taking out quite a few villagers, you feel like you could afford to do that. Let's just take a quick check. So Spain now has all their villagers in the TC, 16. Oh no, 2, excluding the 2 on the forward base. They've dropped to 18. I think they lost about... They certainly lost 2 at the beginning. I think they might have lost about 3 or 4. Meanwhile, Italy doing a villager pull down to 19. Also, almost all of their villagers garrisoned. The big difference is that Spain's musketeers are almost all gone now, whereas the Italians have kept 2 of their strategies. The Italians also forced Minutemen out from Spain. Spain now going to try and use those Minutemen for a bit of extra value, extra scouting or something while we wait. There's also 7 rods, which is from the shipment, sat by the Spanish town centre. Okay, the Lancers show up at the middle base, but they're not going to be able to achieve a lot. Managed to kill both villagers? Yeah, I think so. So actually not bad there. Really got a lot of value from that Broken Lance Company. It is such a good card. This is what I mean when I say Italy can do everything. Italy can play a big Age 2 if they want to. They just have slightly unconventional cards to send if they're going to do it. Now, Spain, in that kind of awkward situation when you're doing logistician, where, oh, another Weakville picked off and another bit of idle time, TC Garrison Forced. It's just one Stradia all on his own. But look how much damage he can do using the alt key to pick off the weak villagers. Absolutely great tactics there. Manages to get 3 villagers from that lone Stradia, and he's still going. And you know, the rods are forced back. This is all really, really annoying. So much value in that Broken Lance company. And be interesting to check in actually what else Italy have shipped. So I think they started with the Broken Lance company. Now they've sent 700 coin as well. That's it. They didn't get a lot in terms of shipments. I guess they haven't really fought the army a lot. They took out a good number of musketeers, so I'm a bit surprised that they haven't got another shipment by this stage. Did I miss something? Maybe they sent... Oh, maybe they sent the 2 outposts. Maybe that's where 2 of their outposts came from. Oh, this Stradia is back, and look, he's going to claim another villager. Oh, Spade. I really feel for Spades here, because I would be so frustrated if I came up against this. And keeping the villagers out just to try and finish this Stradia off. But that's another 3 villagers. Spain down to, let's check on him, 12 villagers. I think he's lost at least 12. So, you know, at least half of his economy gone. Now we're seeing the Minutemen accompanied by the Musk. They try to take down this trading post. They almost make it, but a couple of batches of Pavisier. 12 Pavisier, so I'm guessing that's a... No? That's just 12 Pavisier? No, where did he get those 12 Pavisier? Please write in and tell me. Write in the comments. Where did those 12 Pavisier come from? Because there's only 8 in your shipment, but I don't see a military building anywhere for Italy. Anyway, Spain, not finished, decides to come back on this trading post, this time a few pikes in the mix to really boost the siege. But it's all musks, it's all heavy infantry, all musks and pikes. The Pavisier can deal with this fairly comfortably. I know they're not the greatest units in the world, but they're doing what they do best. Spain able to overwhelm with numbers though, the rods show up, even though all these units are heavy infantry, so Italy's not getting terrible trades, they just don't have the numbers to win this fight. Barracks now going down for Italy so that they can get something happening. Have Italy lost the barracks then? I don't know where the 12th Pavisier came from. Please do write in the comments. Architects on the run, shuffling around between the outposts and the town centre. Of course, architects can't build outposts anymore because that's an age 3 card. Oh, Italy are in age 3. That's probably where the Pavisier came from. It was probably from the age up, wasn't it? Italy are in age 3. They snuck that one in while I was probably distracted, just like Spades, with all the raiding going on outside the Spanish town centre. And you've sort of got to start to think that it's probably going to be difficult for Spain to get anywhere out of this. Italy have got a modest lead in terms of villagers, but they've also got the architects there boosting up that numbers. And Italy are also an age ahead now. They've got their falconets. Those falconets could come out now and challenge this bunch of musketeers. Deciding to stick them behind the walls, I think that's a little bit unnecessarily cautious from Milk, to be honest, in the circumstances. Gonna lose quite a few villagers really unnecessarily here, because this raid wasn't fast and these units aren't that powerful. Could definitely have sent the falconets in to stall this raid. I think could definitely just have evacuated the villagers a bit more effectively and saved a few more of them. Italy down to 23, which is a little bit more like what they want. Spain do have the trade post in their favour, but Italy have got Basilica down, so that's going to be earning them a modest amount of XP as well. Although Spain's now sieging that. Spain spent an awful lot of time just sieging stuff down, which is, you know, the right thing to do in this kind of situation, because you can't push in on those 2 outposts. I wonder if it's at the cost of kind of building up their own eco, potentially setting themselves up for age 3 as well. A batch of hus out. Those will have been expensive, those hus. 600 and 400 food and gold respectively. That could have been an age up, but choosing to go with that hus. So Spades wanting to stick this out in age 2 for a little bit longer. Can perhaps get a bit of hope from the fact that they were able to get so many villager kills up there in the top corner. Of course, Italy do have 2 TCs, so they can potentially start to stretch out a bigger villager lead once again. Spain putting some pressure on down the side here now, moving this heavy infantry in, forcing those fills out. Italy run out of hunts, don't feel like they have the force to take on these huss that are guarding the hunts up here. Don't feel like they're able to push down to this hunt near the trade post, with Spain kind of lurking around with lots of units all over the place. I think this is just a temporary problem though. The architect is going to put down the mill, all the villagers are going to go over to gold temporarily. Now the mill's down and some of those villagers can move back to food. Italy doing the right thing, I think, starting to push out and challenge Spain on that surround. Spain's kind of divided their army up into 3 little pockets, so... and the Cav, Italy absolutely being negligent here. Those falconets, I think that's just about going to save that one, but those falconets do not need to die. Both of them killed. Totally unnecessary because the musks were there to defend them. They were right in the right place, but just unfortunately a moment of oversight there gave Spades the opportunity. Taking out those falcons are potentially quite big. Italy's still benefiting from veteran musketeers, so in this must fight, they're going to have a significant advantage. A few Huss coming in, but I think Spades thinks better of it, realises that it's not the time for those Huss to go and get themselves killed. We can build up a few more Musk. I hope I look over and I see Spain aged up. Yes, they are. So now veteran musketeers are coming in for Spain too. And that's a healthy force of musketeers. There's no forward shipment point though, so if Spain is going to send in the 2 falcons of their own now to try and really press this situation, quite a lot of villagers killed there. That's pretty good. You know, I was starting to worry 3 or 4 minutes ago about how Spain were possibly going to stand a chance of getting back into this. I think that big villager kill up there, knocking Italy down, I think by about 7 or 8 villagers, and then these kind of pressures here, pushing off the hunts, getting the falcons for free, potentially sniping out a few more villagers at some point. It feels like they might be able to, because Italy still hasn't got their numbers up too well. A couple of Huss dying completely unnecessarily there. Ooh, but one gets away. Yeah, Italy really committing to this turtle, being very, very cautious. We've got all the Lombards out. Oh, I thought that architect might have trapped themselves Age of Empires 2 style. Another town centre going down. Nope, we're giving up on that town centre. Floating an absolute ton of coin. That's mainly due to the fact that they were denied any food for a while, and even now they've only got 1 mill loaded up with 8 villagers for efficiency, but that's not giving them a huge amount of food income. So you know, they've got the villager lead, they've got all these TCs, they actually haven't got the villager lead anymore. Spain ship 5 villagers then, yes, ship 5 villagers. Could potentially send Marvelous Year to stretch it out even further. Hasn't got 1,000 wood, so going to be difficult for Spain to get down any more town centres. You would probably expect Italy to start catching up on villagers. Of course, they also have the architects, which don't count as villagers, but sort of do bring in effectively wood. Italy are anticipating, of course it's Spain, of course they're in Fortress Age, of course 2 falcons are on the way, and so it's 3 culverins. I kind of feel like 3 is almost overkill, right? Like you're spending 1,500 res to kill 1,000 res worth of Valks. I don't know if they needed 3 there. Like, they had no reason to believe that Spain were doing anything truly mad in terms of Valks. I think that Spain could do pretty well with a good number of Lancers here. Looks like we've only got the 5. I'm guessing that's also from the shipment. No? Okay, so the shipment's still available. We've got a batch of 4 from the stable. Good to go. I think those will be a pretty good answer to this Musketeer Culverin situation. Italy deciding just to abandon that 3rd TC. It's a little bit cut off from the rest of the base. Interestingly, Spain is going to see the artillery foundry, so might be able to deduce what's up. I wonder if I was Spain, I would genuinely, maybe this is a 2020 hindsight, but I would genuinely think about evacing those Falcons, or at the very least sending like cav or something forward just to try and spot the enemy artillery. Is it culverins? Is it their own falconets? Either way, you want to know about that, and you want to be the first to make a move in terms of using your artillery, or potentially evacing your artillery if you see that the enemy's got culverins, 3 culverins particularly. So Musk coming forward for Italy. The Musks, I think, will not do amazingly against this mixed army. The culverins, or perhaps Spain got a little glance at the culverins there because suddenly it's let's get out of here time. Be interesting to think about how Spades responds to this. Finishes off those combined batch of 5 skirmishers. Obviously still, you know, still knows that skirmishers are the best answer to this mass, which is mostly as the skirmishers unfortunately get rallied straight into the danger zone, they're going to go down pretty much for nothing. Skirmishers are basically the best answer to these musketeers. The culverins at the back pose a little bit of problem. I mean, culverins do something to... oh no, the falconets are going to get killed. I was going to say the point from earlier, though, it is quite an expensive way to kill 2 falconets, and those falconets still probably got 5 or 6 or 7 of the musks down for free, which in turn meant that this like combined infantry army could live. Now the combined infantry army is going on against the culverins. I've never really seen culverins get like whittled down so slowly like that. That's a really sorry sight to see. Spain can push forward a little bit here. I still don't think they've got enough to go under the outposts or under the TCs for very long. But they're certainly going to take this opportunity to clean up the Italian army very thankfully. And, you know, you start to think maybe this game is a little bit more in the mix than it was looking a bit earlier. I've got to say that the last sort of 5 minutes have really gone quite well for Spain. Italy's idle. They can't use the mill that they've built at great expense. They are managing to get access to this hunt at long last. Spain finally removed the cavalry that they kept kind of camping up there. It's just musketeers at the moment for Italy. I'm kind of interested because it doesn't feel like Italy have done much for a while, apart from sort of try to build TCs and get a boom going fairly unsuccessfully due to, I think, really not having access to any hunts. Another mill is going down. That's sad, isn't it? It's a mill not even being built for free by the architects. Italy is stacking. They've changed now from stacking 1 million coin to stacking 1 million wood. Why aren't you putting that into the... Use the Lombards. Convert it all around. We can't see, unfortunately. I don't think there's any way to see their situation with the Lombard resources, but... You know... I'd like to... There we go. I'd like to see some of that wood getting invested and converted. Another town centre goes down. Quick, that's a free town centre. It's so quick as well. Very difficult for the enemy to snipe it. And think about all that time, you know... That whole momentum of the push where Spain had an edge, had the advantage in terms of military numbers for a while. Oh my gosh. That was all spent on getting rid of a town centre, which is now back for free for about, you know, 40 seconds with Italy's architects. That's the value of architects there. So useful. Now, we've got to watch on both ends of the map here because Spain is going to be pushing into Italy, and at the same time there's going to be a counter raid going on here. This is 4 Bosniaks and 4 Stradiots. It's the Albanian company, and they, if the earlier experience with cav raiding was anything to go by, this is going to be a big problem. Meanwhile, in the Italian base, things are looking pretty bad. All the musketeer defending units are getting down. Another batch of 10 coming out, but they're going to go down. 2 Falks at the back, completely unchallenged. No culverins left to give them any problems. Meanwhile, at Spain's base, oh, it's an absolute massacre. Spain going down, 31 villagers, 10 inside, 10 somewhere. Not inside the TC, just 10 idle because the coin mine has run out, so another problem there. Italy have actually run out of trees at the top of the map, so they've got problems for their economy as well. Spain push is sort of over. Don't know how much it achieved. Didn't seem to destroy any of the buildings. Quite a lot of them damaged. I love this mill with 2.5 blades left intact. Still going. The Cav have come back to kind of threaten to potentially dive in on those Falks, potentially dive in on those Skirms, so Spain needs to start being a bit more careful. I'm sort of worried that maybe that was Spain's best moment. As the game drags on, maybe I jinxed it earlier by saying like I didn't think the game was going to go to age 4. But now you start to maybe think about, well, we're running out of age 3 cards here. Italy are getting in advanced politicians. Oh no, that's advanced Lombards. So maybe Italy aren't thinking about age 4. Maybe I jinxed myself there by talking about age 4 too readily. Anyway, Milkman's Cav is going in. They've decided that this is the moment to spend that Cav on the 2 Falconettes. It's 1,000 resources. They're also going to do decent damage, but they don't really manage to find the skirmishes in there. A little bit of an opportunity for better micro, I think. End up with 1 Bosniak. Gold promoted running away. I'm sure he'll be back to try and snipe some low HP villagers a little bit later. Let me check whether Spades has got Greatcoats. Oh, we could check by looking at villager, couldn't we? Yes, Greatcoats at least in, so it's a little bit more difficult than it would be for those villagers to get sniped. Spain sitting on 32 villagers here. I don't know exactly how many they lost during that raid, but it was absolutely loads. That's all you need to know. It's putting them behind in terms of villagers. Italy sitting on 38. Of course, Italy have had 2 TCs. They have had these 2 TCs working for quite a while. And Spain has only had the 1, so now we're finally getting the second one up, not using the Explorer because they're down in front of the Italian base. It makes my heart sink to see a TC getting built with the Explorer unavailable. You can ransom them back. It'll save you villager seconds. Dragoons do go in on the Explorer rescue mission though, so that's something. That's nice. Few musketeers walking about. Italy still really not got very many units on the map. Milk's obviously a bit of a minimalist when it comes to sort of floating military units. Spain got a nice mass here. I like the Dragoons, I have to say. I think Dragoons, kind of late age 3 for Spain, is a little bit of an underrated option. I think it can work quite well. Just give you that extra bit of maneuverability, a little bit more hit and run, a little bit more efficient compared to the rods, just because they don't all need to walk right up to the enemy unit and get into melee range. So it can be a little bit quicker. The one thing that this Spanish army isn't going to be able to do though is siege, because goons and skirmishers absolutely rubbish siege, and I think there's only a handful of musks in there. So it's going to take them absolutely ages to get this TP down. Of course, Italy can pop Miniman out of this town centre because it's a new town centre. It's the 4th or maybe the 5th one they've built. See architect comments from earlier. And now the musketeers are here. They can defend this and they can push the Spanish army away. Some more skirms though going to get involved. Actually, the needle tips back in the other direction. Now Italy need to run away a little bit. Goons coming in very nice and harrowing down those fleeing units. One sad little rod got kind of lost in the mix and gets picked off. And Spain is back to finish the job. Been really, really persistent at taking down this TP. Some of the buildings in the Italian base, not so good at being persistent with coming back to finish off the job, but nice work on finishing off that TP. The Minutemen are here. Wonder if we're going to get some insane value from these 1 HP Minutemen, because Spades obviously hasn't noticed them. A couple of villagers pop out of the TC, serve as a bit of a distraction. Few Lancers coming in. It's really... It must be really, really edgy for these two players, but they kind of feel like we've stuck in something of a sort of mini age 3 stalemate here. No one's really prepared to try and save up the resources to go to age 4. No one's really got any killer shipments left. No one's even really particularly interested in artillery. So we've just got these kind of 20 to 30 unit armies skirmishing off again and again. Spain, a little bit behind on villagers, but it's probably accounted for by the fact that Italy are having to use mills. I'm interested, Italy, will they be running out of gold at some point soon? Because it's getting to that kind of time where if you're pinned in a corner, you won't start to be worrying about gold. Looks like they've only got the 900 left in this mine, and then they're sort of going to have to be worrying about that. I mean, I guess they've got Lombards, right, so they can do anything they like. This is starting to look a bit like an age 4 kind of macro coming in now. Choosing to spend some of that on a culverin though. I wonder if that dream of age 4 will be put on hold for a little bit longer here. Spain coming in. No defending army. The musketeers are hanging back. They're waiting for that culverin. They are afraid of the 2 falcons that Spades has been able to muster. This is really good as a little bit of a wall comes in here from Spades. Perhaps some paranoia about the cav raids that were going on earlier, but you're going to have to do a lot of walling to really protect yourself from that. Spanish army getting a little bit spread out, some of them getting in range of those musketeers, getting in range of the TCs, which are both on full firing potential, starting to get whittled down a bit. Not many units coming in, 6 skirms in terms of backup, and the Colves are on the field. The Colves managed to get 1 shot off, take out 1 of the 2 falcons. That's kind of interesting. Quite a good result from Spades' point of view, I think. Can potentially kind of put that falc in the cupboard now and just send some skirms and lancers in on this army. Italy will kind of probably go back into their turtle a little bit longer. And yeah, it feels like this age 3, this stalemate is still dragging on. No one's quite got the initiative to figure out a way out of it. Italy now interestingly choosing to invest in 2 batches of Huss from their 2 stables. That's quite surprising. We've not seen Italy make any Huss so far. I'm guessing they're thinking about, let's go for another raid. Raiding has been hugely successful for them so far in the game. Interesting to note, Spain, without having to use... Oh, they have used Marvellous here, that's probably why. But Spain have overtaken in terms of villagers. Temporarily popped, so need to do something about that. Stacking a lot of food could potentially look at an age 4 themselves, but it's still quite a way off in terms of the gold. Going in for another mini push here, but I think it's going to be repelled quite quickly. The main question is, does Milk keep these cav in reserve, or maybe even send them off to raid? Or does Milk get tempted by the prospect of these pretty much unaccompanied skirmishers? Oh, look at those juicy, juicy skirmishers. There's like 20 or something of them. They haven't got any anti-cav with them. All the goons have pretty much gone down to the musketeers. Oh, now the Huss are coming in. Oh, and this is a nasty moment. And all through this game, Spain has been able to keep their mass, to be able to run away or, you know, save half their army again and again. We've never actually had a moment where Milk has completely cleaned up the Spanish army and been able to sort of say, yes, look, I'm in control now. I've got the military. I can come and just walk straight. uncontested into your territory. But I wonder if we might be seeing that now. The Huss peel off, perhaps thinking about doing another raid. It does very much seem to be Milk style. The two Culves come forward, accompanied by the Musk, and I think Milk is going to test Spades a little bit here, put some pressure on. Say, nah, don't think, if you were thinking about going up to Industrial, don't think so. I'm going to be taking the lead for a moment here. As another Basilica comes in. Still got a unit shipment at this stage. The goons are out though, quite a nice number of goons accompanied by skirms at the back. Those skirms are going to be unchallenged and put down a good number of the musketeers. Interestingly, didn't manage to take either of the Culves. I wonder if it might have been better to put those goons into melee. It will do a lot more damage to those Culves if you just dive them in on melee, because they keep their multiplier. They only have slightly less total attack pre-multiplier, and that's massively offset by the fact that they're not getting 75% resisted. Here we go though, as alluded to, it's another Huss raid, actually even bigger than we expected, 15 Huss, so I think another 2 batches of 10 onto the original 7, and then a few got whittled down. Absolutely carving into the numbers of settlers here. I know Spain was up above 60 just before this, so we're down to 45, and I think that's going to be the GG from Spades. You can kind of understand a bit of a depressing moment. Obviously, still a lot for Italy to do in terms of pushing through the map and taking over the base, but Spain had really run out of resources in their own territory, was relying on the fact they had control of the middle map to keep their economy going. Almost out of gold, completely out of funds. Italy, of course, had already made that investment in mills. So it kind of makes sense to call it at that point after that big turnover. But I really... Man, if this was the game one of your best of 3 tournament set, you'd be thinking, my goodness, what have I got myself in for here? Because I think this must have been a really grueling game for both sides. Italy kind of holding out under a lot of pressure, but you kind of always felt since that initial raid that they had a little bit of an edge in terms of the eco, and they were just able to kind of stabilize under pressure in a sense. I guess that's like the definition of an effective turtle, right? That's what these towers and the 2 TCs always firing whenever any Spanish units came in, and they just able to stabilize under that pressure. And eventually able to get those raids in. Those raids are absolutely crucial, definitely made the difference in terms of winning the game, and turn that into a victory. So that's game 1. Based on the length, I hope I'm going to record casts for the next 2 games, but we'll kind of have to see how long game 2 is. I might call it quits after 2. And I will see you in the next one. For now, GG's.